Please subscribe my channel. The doorman eyed me from head to toe. Worn denim pants, a faded university hoodie. He planted himself firmly in front of the entrance to the Lux Pinnacle Hotel. Just 3 days into his new role, yet he carried himself with complete confidence. I explained that I was there for the Harlan Reynolds engagement celebration. He chuckled, then gestured toward the side alley. Staff entrance, he announced, as if the workers needed a reminder. My sister observed everything from the parking area. She let out a light laugh. She never bothered to set him straight. Hello, my name is Kayla Harlan. I'm 30 years old. I forced a smile, pivoted, and headed toward the staff door. They assumed I blended into the background. I chose to let the evening prove them wrong. Before I continue, share with me, where are you tuning in from right now? What's your surroundings like in this moment? A cozy bedroom, a quiet vehicle, a midnight work shift? Echoes of Life is right here alongside you. 2 weeks before that night, my sister Olivia reached out. Her tone sparkled with excitement, almost overly so. She urged me to dress sharply for once. The Reynolds family came from generations of wealth, deeply rooted in tradition. She emphasized those words with invisible quotes. I could practically hear them in her voice. She also requested one small thing. Please avoid bringing up my digital enterprise. She explained that they might not grasp online ventures. She delivered it softly, like helpful guidance. I didn't push back. I rarely do with Olivia. As kids, she mastered the art of standing out brightly. I mastered the skill of being reliably helpful. She perfected charming everyone around her. I perfected fading into the shadows. During family gatherings, she dominated conversations with ambitions and achievements. I handled the practical details, who covered which bill, who required assistance next. When I launched my own company, she dismissed it as a temporary hobby, a little project I'd eventually outgrow. She forwarded job openings my way, junior marketing positions, beginner-level spots, roles that felt more suitable. I expressed gratitude each time, then returned to building my empire. That evening at the hotel, catching her amused chuckle with the doorman, the familiar dynamic hit me hard. She never intended to wound me. That's what stung the most. She simply didn't consider me at all. To her, I was merely scenery, a reliable backup plan, someone to call on quietly when necessary. Stepping through the staff entrance, clarity washed over me. This went far beyond one event, one dismissive guard, or one hurtful giggle. This was a lifetime of serving as the convenient one, and finally deciding I no longer needed to justify my existence. Down in the lower level, I wasn't treated as family. I was simply another unseen helper. The bustling kitchen engulfed me instantly. Intense warmth enveloped my body while pots crashed and oil sizzled fiercely. A staff member thrust an apron at me without a word or pause. Shrimp, the head chef barked. So I got to work peeling shrimp. That's the beauty of unseen labor. It begins without invitation. It's just expected. My fingers worked automatically. Peel, remove the vein, rinse, start again. As the chaos swirled, servers huddled by the counters, gossiping in hushed tones meant to carry. Olivia had already rejected champagne deliveries 3 times, wrong color, inadequate fizz, off vibe. She demanded napkin swaps yet again, her 6th change. Floral arrangements had been swapped out 17 times. One dessert specialist broke down in tears inside the walk-in cooler. Nobody batted an eye. They shared the weary chuckles of those earning wages to tolerate chaos. Then the whispers grew more intense, more pointed. The Reynolds clan, wealth so ancient it carried the scent of mothballs. Mrs. Reynolds had inspected the space earlier, dedicating a full 40 minutes to recounting their illustrious lineage. Ancestors who passed away extraordinarily affluent. Lavish gatherings hosted long before this hotel stood. Heritage wielded like a weapon. One server claimed to have overheard her in the restroom, plotting on a call to derail the wedding entirely. Another insisted the Reynolds weren't merely tight on funds, they were sinking fast. I continued peeling shrimp, discarded shells stacking higher beside me. Olivia burst into the kitchen, her stilettos clicking sharply, her demands even sharper. Champagne needed precise chilling to exactly 37.5 degrees. Not a fraction below or above. Precision wasn't the point, dominance was. She swept past me closely. Her signature fragrance arrived first, the very same scent she'd borrowed from me years back and never replaced. She never glanced my way, never registered who I was. In her eyes, I was just another worker. Once she departed, the kitchen collectively breathed out. Someone grumbled that she was overcompensating wildly. Another noted the Reynolds reeked of quiet panic. That's when understanding dawned brightly. Upstairs, facades of affluence were on full display. Downstairs, the real price was being paid by those absorbing the strain. I quietly slipped toward the staff elevator, its gentle rumble a welcome relief, and selected the executive level. Not the celebration floor, but the one above. My domain. The city skyline welcomed me with twinkling lights. Unread emails awaited. I headed directly to the surveillance station. There she was again, Mrs. Reynolds discreetly slipping cash to a man, her expression unnaturally serene. This gathering wasn't joy. It was a carefully orchestrated trap. I took my time, observing through the feeds. The grand ballroom gleamed flawlessly. Sparkling chandeliers, gentle melodies, smiles rehearsed to perfection. Olivia glided among the guests, her laughter ringing a touch too forcefully, fidgeting with her gown whenever Mrs. Reynolds looked over. It pained me deeply to witness her desperate efforts, not truly for romance, but for validation. Then I spotted him once more. The mysterious figure from before, not kitchen crew, not part of my team. He lingered near the audio setup, clutching a USB drive like hidden treasure. Mrs. Reynolds whispered something cutting, then flashed a commanding smile, the type that demanded compliance. I replayed the footage, shifting angles. The money exchange, the directives, the agreement. This went beyond playlist changes. This screamed deliberate disruption. I placed a single, precise call to my security chief. Intercept that drive before activation. Secure copies of all recordings from the past 2 hours. Hold off on direct action for now. Then I donned the apron once more. Re-entering the ballroom felt transformed with the full picture in mind. Bubbly poured freely. Laughter echoed. Yet beneath the surface pulsed undeniable strain. The Reynolds were peddling an illusion, desperately seeking believers. As I circulated with trays, I eavesdropped intently. Mrs. Reynolds discussed money matters as casual kindnesses. Wedding plans morphed into strategic alliances. Olivia agreed eagerly, pledging support, even highlighting her accomplished investor sibling, who would soon make a grand reveal. I almost let the tray slip. She was leveraging my success to prop up a facade she didn't possess. Suddenly, my trusted general manager Thomas entered the space, clutching a folder, worry etched deeply on his features. He searched the crowd urgently. I knew the contents instantly. The payment had failed. Thomas moved purposefully past Olivia, past the Reynolds, directly to me. Olivia rose quickly, plastering on a confident grin, prepared to smooth things over. But Thomas bypassed her entirely. He halted before me, offered a respectful nod, and announced clearly enough for nearby tables to catch every word. Ms. Harlan, we're facing a problem with the Reynolds event billing. The check was returned due to insufficient funds. The entire room went still. Olivia forced a sharp, unnatural laugh. Then her gaze locked on me truly, for the first time, taking in the apron, my expression. I untied it deliberately, folded it neatly, passed it to a nearby server. I stood taller and addressed the silence calmly. I believe there's been a misunderstanding. I'm Kayla Harlan and I own this hotel. In fact, I own the full collection of 17 luxe Pinnacle locations. Shocked inhales swept the space like a wave. Mrs. Reynolds' facade crumbled. Olivia's carefully constructed world shattered alongside it. In that instant, the charade collapsed completely. Silence hung heavy, not from mere surprise, but from rapid reassessments. Mrs. Reynolds composed herself quickest, forcing a tight smile. This is ridiculous, she declared. Clearly some elaborate prank. I didn't debate. I rarely waste energy on those clinging to delusion. I retrieved my phone, tapped once. The massive screens dimmed, then illuminated with undeniable evidence. Security clips played, Mrs. Reynolds clearly handing over cash by the audio equipment, followed by her rifling through Olivia's unattended bag, snapping photos of personal documents, licenses, cards, sensitive data gathered for future blackmail. The atmosphere shifted dramatically. Guests edged closer, captivated. Devices emerged to capture it all. Mrs. Reynolds gaped, speechless, her husband fixated on the carpet. Their son Ethan glanced between his parents and Olivia, bewilderment turning to betrayal. This, I stated steadily, explains the failed payment. I nodded toward the display. 3 liens on your primary residence, 15 credit lines maxed, a family trust depleted 2 years back. Whispers erupted swiftly. Established wealth despises exposed realities. Olivia shook her head slowly, staring at them as if meeting strangers. You assured me everything was stable, she murmured softly. Mrs. Reynolds lashed out then, accusing me of envy, of orchestration, of deliberately shaming her own flesh and blood. I allowed her tirade to fade naturally. Humiliation wasn't my doing, I replied evenly. You revealed yourselves. I faced Olivia directly. They weren't opposing your marriage out of disapproval. They were frantic for it to proceed. They believed our family could rescue their finances. The revelation struck profoundly, quiet yet crushing. Thomas advanced once more. The evening's total comes to $47,000, he noted professionally. With payment declined, we require immediate settlement. I lifted a hand gently. 2 paths forward, I offered. Option 1. Authorities handle this as theft of services. Option 2. The Reynolds depart discreetly now. I'll cover the expense personally. Mrs. Reynolds chose instantly, seizing her husband's arm and hurrying out. Heads bowed, no final words. The doors sealed shut behind them. Olivia remained center stage, trembling. Her dream evening lay in ruins. Her crafted narrative evaporated. She met my eyes and breathed. You could have intervened earlier. I acknowledged with a nod. You're right. Then came the truth that truly mattered. But allowing people to show their true colors often sets the clearest limits. In that moment, true influence revealed itself, not in volume, but in quiet finality. Guests departed rapidly, leaving behind half-empty flutes and drooping centerpieces under harsh lighting. Olivia lingered at the main table long after the crowd vanished, gown creased, makeup smudged, no one remaining to perform for. I took the seat beside her, not as the proprietor, but as her sister. She didn't rush an apology. She simply gazed at her palms. I was blind to it all, she admitted at last. I craved acceptance so fiercely. I understood completely. I know. The wedding never occurred that night, but healing began, something far more valuable. The facades finally dropped. 1 week on, Olivia arrived at the hotel by dawn, 5 a.m. sharp, dressed in a standard housekeeping outfit. Hair tied simply, no elegant footwear. She rotated through every role, folding linens, manning reception, assisting in the kitchen. She offered sincere regrets to each employee she'd overwhelmed. No defenses, just genuine attention. Ethan took a position in finance, grasping real cash flow rather than surface appearances. The Reynolds vanished from our circle. No outreach, no viable legal threats. Quiet suited their defeat. A year passed. Olivia and Ethan exchanged vows in a simple garden setting. No grandeur, no false prestige. Olivia deliberately entered via the staff door. She explained that's where her authentic journey truly began. For me, the external world stayed steady, same dedication, same rhythm, same grounded choices. Yet internally, peace settled deeply. Validation wasn't necessary. Regrets from others weren't required. I realized true strength isn't in being noticed. It's in unwavering self-knowledge, even amid invisibility. I didn't unveil their deception for victory. I did it to reclaim my full space. If this tale resonates with your own experiences, know you're in good company. Like, share, and follow for more heartfelt narratives. This is Echoes of Life. Your next story awaits.